Ladies and gentlemen, Husker hockey fans, welcome on in to the John Breslow Hockey Center on the great campus of the University of Nebraska-Lincoln. My name's Matt Malloy. I'll be your play-by-play announcer for the evening. Joined here with my good friend Colton Alder. Colton, it's been a long week, but now we get to sit back, relax, and watch the second-to-last home game for this women's team. It's been an up-and-down season, but they're looking to pick up a win or two to close out the year.
Yeah, senior night, it would be nice to get these seniors a victory in their second-to-last home game. Huskers looking to get this win. It's their first home game since November 22nd. It's been a while since they've got to play here at the Breslow. Hopefully that gives them an extra edge in this one as they try to knock off Minnesota Duluth.
Yeah, Minnesota Duluth 6-10 with a tie. The Huskers are 3-10. No ties, no overtime losses there. So looking to pick up their fourth win tonight. Between the posts, though, seems to be kind of the big narrative tonight. Senior Bailey Arnold, number 39, the goaltender, will be back there for the Huskers. For the first 3 years of her career, she started every game, and then this year she's been sharing that role with freshman Sui Daphnis. But tonight, she gets to be recognized as the one senior on this team in her fourth year, so it's going to be a great night for her. Overall, though, let's take a look at the starting lineups right now for both teams. We just announced them right now, so we'll do the away team first, as always. The UMD Bulldogs, a long drive there coming down from Minnesota Duluth. We'll just cut those first. We'll send it to the national anthem right now. Folks, we've got puck drop coming up in just a moment. We're going to send it down to Frances Howe right now, though. Rinkside, she's got some things to say about tonight's matchup.
Thank you, guys. Tonight is senior night for the Nebraska Huskers, and tonight we honor Bailey Arnold. Her first time skating was her freshman year when she decided to join the club hockey team, and it was her first time putting on those skates. Her team highlights her dedication, her selflessness, and her work ethic that she has put into not only this team, but the program as a whole. She has served as president her junior year and this current senior year. She wants to especially thank her parents, her classmates who are in the crowd tonight to support her, and her team. They have shown her so much friendship and energy that she owes so much to this program. Back to you guys.
All right, thank you, Frances. The starters making their way out onto the ice. We previously mentioned that senior Bailey Arnold will be back in between the posts for Nebraska. As for the Bulldogs from Minnesota, number 30, Lucy Whitehead, a junior, will be back there as we go some of these skaters as well. The opening face-off won there by the Bulldogs. As I mentioned before, they're 6-10 off of a one-game winning streak that they picked up just 5 days ago against UW La Crosse, trying to keep that streak going to end off what has been an all-right year for them. Back in the defensive zone, Nebraska going to kick it back out past the red line. Now on the offensive, Whitehead just going to swipe it away. Stevens shoots one in there. Whitehead covers it up in the crease.
Yeah, early save there for Whitehead. She has been extremely effective in net for the Bulldogs this year. 914 save percentage heading into this one for Whitehead. She's got a shutout as well. Looking to get her 4th win of the year this final series.
That one comes off in a neutral way. Nebraska is still trying to hold on to it, but eventually passes the blue line. Everybody's got to back up. Going back and forth, ping-ponging, staying in the neutral zone, but eventually it's swiped down there by number 14, Book Pokrant, by the Bulldogs. Minnesota Duluth still applying pressure, keeping it in front of the blue line. They do it for a second time there on the same possession. Nobody going to go off to the benches. We'll stay with the lines here. Nebraska now trying to flip it the other way. Still very early on. We might see a couple stoppages. They swat it away again. This Nebraska defense looking all right. They might have an opportunity here, but the puck just seems to get away past a Husker there. That's number 8, Corinne McCord.
And icing early on. Thus far, neither team has gotten a ton of opportunities at the net, but early on, both teams trying to feel each other out a little bit, maybe see what goes here, and Bulldogs with a chance on the Husker defensive end.
Second stoppage so far. A nice clearing there off of the face-off. 3rd one we've had so far today. Neither team really to get in a groove. The Bulldogs have an opportunity right here, though. Off in the corner. See Elena Benson waiting for it on the opposite side. Instead, right in the middle in front of the net. A shot ripped off by Annika Burke. Another one. That one hits the crossbar. Could have been lucky if it was just a couple inches below where it hit there. That shot taken by Benson.
Yeah, Benson providing a lot of power on that shot. Just a little bit off in terms of the height of it. That was a good opportunity, though, and if she keeps hitting the puck like that, some of those are going to fall in the net at some point.
So we'll get another face-off where we had the last one. That shot again by Benson, ripped off. A pad save, though. Now off in the corner. Everyone fighting for it. McCord getting in there as well. McKenna Mueller tries to stop it, but it gets away. Benson now at mid-ice. Skating outside, back in. Gonna let a shot off right at the blue line. Why not? Now Nebraska, though, picks it up after that one was wide left. Whole lot of defensive pressure. Puck ends up going the other way. They're going to call that one, raise the arm. We'll get another stoppage in play here, folks. Colton will head down here to the other side of the ice. Not even 3 minutes in, but we have not been down here for quite a while.
Yeah, the Huskers not getting a lot of opportunities early, but chance here with the puck close to the Bulldog net.
The Bulldogs win that face-off in their own defensive zone. Nebraska is still able to keep it in front of that line. Behind her own net. Puck coming back the other way now. Annalise Walker had it. Nebraska gonna steal it. This is Shelby Stevens. Now to the captain, number 8, Corinne McCord. Keeps it down in the same corner. Stevens tries to pass it back over, but that one tipped away. A nice poke check. Puck stays in the area, though, and then goes flying up in the air. Back at the opposite blue line. They'll pass it off the boards. Still, though, trying to get a clearing. They get another opening to McCord here. Puck goes off into open ice, and the Bulldogs will take over. That one hit back down to the ground by Bonincontro. Comes skating in Burke as well, coming from behind. Here's Izzy Palmer with it. Gonna pass it off. That one tipped away. Nebraska still holding on to it, though. Another pass off the boards. A Bulldog defenseman back there to pick it up. Still at neutral ice. Both teams trying to get it going the other way. Nebraska's struggling to get in an offensive formation. The Bulldogs might have an opportunity here, and they do. Number 9, Brianna Bonincontro, the junior, gets the party started. Not even 5 minutes into the first period. 1-0, Minnesota Duluth.
And this Minnesota Duluth team putting a lot of defensive pressure on the Huskers there. Puck gets knocked around, and Bonincontro gets across the blue line. Slap shot from outside, and she's just able to sink it. Great shot right there. That is her 8th goal of the year, 2nd on the team, just behind Annika Burke. She gives the Bulldogs an early lead in this one.
Bonincontro, 2nd in the team with goals as well as points. That marks her 17th of the year. Nebraska came away with the face-off following the goal, but now they're back on the defensive end trying to get it going and change up what has so far been some Bulldog domination as far as puck possession goes. On the other way, here come the Huskers. Bit of a 2-on-2 situation. Puck trying to come free. A nice save there by Whitehead. Another stoppage in play, not even 30 seconds after that goal.
Yeah, that's a nice save right there from Whitehead. Mueller coming down the ice, not an easy play to make out in net, but she's able to get her glove around and get a handle on it. Good play right there from Whitehead.
Addie Rusing took the face-off there. The Bulldogs came away with it, though. Puck deep off in the corner, rounding back behind the net. Antonia Stevens gonna try and clear it. There's a Bulldog in the way, though. Still everyone fighting for it. Here's McKenna Mueller. Back over, trying to go cross ice. Puck hitting everybody on its way there. It eventually finds Addie Rusing, though. Addie Rusing still fighting for it. A backhand pass. Now down past the Pepsi logo. The puck still in neutral ice. Looks like it almost hit someone on the bench there, but still makes its way down. This back defensive line for the Bulldogs doing a great job so far of not even letting the puck get to Lucy Whitehead. Nebraska is still doing their best to play aggressive here. They might have a shot. Ripped one off, a pad save. That one taken by Lexi Rager, the junior defenseman for Nebraska. Puck gonna stay here after a stop is made by Shipperbottom. And now it's back off behind the net. Corinne McCord stops right in her tracks. The puck in front of the net. No shot. Got off there, though. Duluth now having it, going the other way. They're spread out wide. 3 players. They're going to dump it and get a couple changes as far as personnel. McCord tries to clear it again. Puck at mid-ice. Shot taken, ripped off again. That one by number 15, Elena Benson. 2-0, the Bulldogs go up early.
That was awfully similar to the first goal from Bonincontro. Just gets across the blue line, fires a slap shot. Hits it hard enough to where there's no play on it. Goal right there, and this Minnesota Duluth team really getting ahead in this game early. They've got control up 2-0.
Colton, we've seen this happen a few times before. With this Nebraska team, they might get down early, but then they're able to build some momentum. They really shine once they build more courage to just get the puck down in the offensive end and take more shots. Right now, they've got it in the defensive, but what are some players, as far as Huskers go, that might be able to change the tide right now?
Well, for starters, Corinne McCord, and the player with the puck right now, Meredith Radel, she fires a shot. And I mean, they're going to be 2 of the huge impact players for the Huskers if they want to make a comeback in this one.
Puck on the near side board. Here's Mueller. Lets a shot go. That one had a chance, but it's stopped by Whitehead's left pad. Now still staying in the same area. The Bulldogs eventually get a hold of it. Now ping-ponging, going both ways, hanging out around the blue line. Now it's back behind the net. The Bulldogs going to take a breather and change up some things on the line. Here's Camille Dunlip. Now back off. Bonincontro almost had her 2nd goal of the night so far, but that one hit the post and ricocheted off. Now still staying on the near side board. Arnold had to make a move there to deflect it. Puck's still live here. Nebraska's got another chance. We're nearing almost the halfway point of this first period, Colton, and it almost feels like we've barely played 2 minutes into this game. Time is going by quick. How do you think that'll affect the Huskers, especially since they're down 2-0?
Well, I mean, I feel like with the way this game's been going so far, you kind of need to slow it down a little bit if you're Nebraska. It feels like things are going a little bit too fast. This Minnesota Duluth team's getting a lot of quick goals. I think controlling the puck and slowing down the pace of this game is going to be huge to get control back here in this first period and play your brand of hockey.
We'll see. Bulldogs could have had a one-on-one breakaway, but a stop was made by the back defensive line. Nebraska still trying to work to get it past that blue line. It's interesting what the Bulldogs are doing here. Usually they keep a skater back near mid-ice while the puck is almost nearing getting past the blue line, and it seems to have been working for them so far. Over Nebraska able to break away right here, but again the Bulldogs staying aggressive. Annika Burke on the far side eventually brings it back. She will not stop, tries to go Michigan, and she does! What a goal by Annika Burke. The sophomore forward and point leader for this Bulldog team makes it 3-0, not even halfway through the first period.
It's a really incredible goal from Burke right there. You see why she leads this team in both goals and points. That's her 10th goal, 23rd point of the year. Not an easy play wrapping it around the back net, but she's able to get it in there, and this Bulldog team already building a 3-goal lead. They've been in control of this game so far.
And they do not seem tired yet, Colton. They're staying aggressive. Almost had their fourth right there. Pass just wasn't on target, though, or rather the shot as well. Back again in mid-ice, and the Bulldogs are not stopping after 3 quick goals. Colton, now looking at it, there's obviously a reason why Burke is the point leader for this team. She's been one of, if not the most aggressive player on this Bulldog offense. The puck has stayed down here for most of what's been the first 10 minutes of this game. It will again stay back here. Nebraska trying to fight, do anything they can to flip the ice. Just try to dump the puck going the other way. Mueller gets a hold of it right in front on the near side. Zooming in, rips off a shot. It hits a defender's leg, and then everybody is fighting for it in the crease. A Husker falls down hard there. I believe that was Corinne McCord, Colton.
Yeah, that puck was getting knocked around a little bit, and McCord was in the net. It looked like Elena Benson ran into her. It didn't look like an intentional hit, but McCord went into the goal. Good to see she's up and all right. That was a good scoring chance for the Huskers, but a great play there from Whitehead to just cover it up.
Almost looked like McCord hit her head on both the post and the ice there. Almost a scary sight, but she seems to be all right. And Whitehead now picking up where the offense has left off. She hasn't let anything get anywhere near going past her. So not only are the Bulldogs looking hot on offense, they've got a great goaltender back there to keep things steady as well. A shot, though, on the right pad of Whitehead. It eventually deflects away. A great save there made. The Bulldog defense still has work to do, though. They try to get a clearing, and they do. What a pass right at mid-ice, and now Burke has another shot at things. Coming from the outside back in. She's a righty, was trying to work glove side on Arnold, but didn't get a great shot off. That one was wide left. McCord now has a chance to get the puck deeper into the offensive zone. Instead, it looks like it'll be Palmer. Tries to make a move. Doesn't work out for her, but McCord comes in to help to progress the puck forward. Palmer now will move down towards the net. The puck makes its way going the other way. Stevens now back over to her sister, Shelby. Meredith Radel working in there as well. And now the Bulldogs have a chance. 1-on-1. Shot came off by Bonancantro. That one held up by Arnold. And Colton, what can you say about the Huskers so far when now that they're able to get the puck into the offensive zone, it seems as though they're not as organized as they want to be?
Yeah, I mean, you got to get that organization taken care of. That's something that can be addressed at the intermission for sure, but I mean, just holding strong defensively is going to be huge for them. They're not giving up as much opportunity since that third goal. Getting the puck down in the offensive end, but it just hasn't come together yet.
And this Nebraska team is usually a little more aggressive to start things off. They've got a few players with some high penalty minutes. That shot doesn't work out for the Bulldogs. Now Nebraska trying to get a pass off there. Minnesota Duluth just doing an incredible job. They are dominating at neutral ice right now. Let's say puck comes around behind Nebraska's net. The Bulldogs trying to get another look here. Nebraska with another clear, though. Mueller skating around. Puck comes free again. In comes Corinne McCord. Everybody's still fighting for it. Bulldogs on what could be another breakaway here. Another stoppage in play. Colton, we've got a pretty interesting jersey matchup tonight. The Huskers and their All Blacks, and the Bulldogs quite literally in their Bulldog unis.
Yeah, the Bulldog unis, they've got Bulldogs on the back of their jerseys. I think it's a pretty neat uniform combination in this one. The Huskers coming out with their black uniforms, red numbers and logo, white stripes around the numbers and logo. Pretty neat uniform matchup in this one. Going back to the action, it'll be Minnesota Duluth on the power play as Izzy Palmer heads to the box.
Palmer only 4 penalty minutes on the year heading into tonight's game. They'll tag on 2 more here, though. That one a close call. This Nebraska defense trying to get it out. They do. Bulldogs get the chase down. About a minute and a half left on this power play. Burke trying to go inside. A nice pass. They're trying to get it back down on the ice. Everyone fighting for it. Arnold closes things up on her right side. Looks like it didn't get past her, Colton.
Yeah, good save right there from Arnold. We'll kick it down to Francis, rink side, for just a few seconds.
Back up here. The Bulldogs again in the offensive zone. They've got an advantage here with personnel. Looking for the best opening they can. They'll let one rip off. A glove save made by Arnold. And despite having let 3 get past her, she's holding up her own on this power play right now.
Yeah, all 3 of the goals for Minnesota Duluth were more so good offensive plays rather than a lapse on Arnold's part. She's been able to hang in there well on the shots that she can control, and that was one of them right there. Nice glove save.
A nice shot there. The Bulldogs retain possession after it as well. Keeping it around, again, looking for that perfect opening. That one flies up over the left shoulder of Bailey Arnold, and it'll stay down here as UMD stays on top of things. 15 seconds left to go on the power play. The puck's still up in the air. Arnold not able to hold it down. This puck's still live and still in front of the blue line. They call it safe here. Nobody has to clear out of the area. Down low again. Back up top. Izzy Palmer makes her way out of the box. Eventually gets back on defense. Nebraska pokes it away. They're looking to flip the ice here, and they do. Now going back and forth again. The Bulldogs doing what they do best, what they have been doing best so far today, which is if the puck gets back there in their defensive end, they try as quickly as possible to get it back on the offensive and get as many shots off as they can. That's why they're up 3-0 right now. Still looking to get as many as possible, though. Nebraska, on the other hand, trying to close the gap in this lead right now. Again, folks, it's been quite some time since they've been victorious. Their last win comes from October 19th. That was 131 days ago. Still a lot of hockey left to play, though, Colton, so who knows? We could see a change in scenery, if you will, change. The script could be rewritten here.
Yeah, still 43 more minutes of hockey for these Huskers. Quite a bit of time to make up a 3-goal deficit.
That stoppage will send it back down to Francis with almost 3 minutes left in the first period.
Thank you, guys. UMD has established that start super early within this period. They came out physical, they got those first 3 goals, but for UMD, establishing momentum and establishing pace is very beneficial for their team. Back to you guys.
Back up here. Francis hit it right on the nose here. The Bulldogs doing a great job as far as pacing goes. Nebraska, on the other hand, would love to work on that the best they can here with 2 minutes and 50 seconds left in the first. Colton, though, we go back to what we were just talking about, how there's still a lot of hockey left to play, and those 3 quick goals could we quickly change the other way if Nebraska can somehow find a way to work things out on offense.
Yeah, in the grand scheme of things, 3-goal lead isn't that big for the first period. You got to be able to stay in this game and not allow it to get away from you.
Puck comes free after that opportunity. Nebraska trying to get on top of things. Nobody's got the puck right now, but it eventually makes its way to a defender. Still trying to change the ice here. They do. Here comes Meredith Radel on the left-hand side. The near side boards, that is. Fighting with it with their skates. The puck comes free. A couple players don't know where the puck is. It goes airborne and comes back down in the neutral zone. Just hit the 2-minute warning here. Let's see how the Bulldogs react to that. With there being little time left, they immediately make a switch up on the line, which gives Nebraska a potential opening to keep the puck out of their defensive zone where these 10 skaters have been for most of this game. Another stoppage in play here. Colton, what stuck out to you so far with roughly 1.5 minutes left in the first?
Well, for starters, this Minnesota Duluth team did a good job pushing the puck down the ice in the first half of this first period. This Husker defense has done a good job stepping up, not allowing as much opportunities afterwards, even with the power play. And Arnold's done a good job on the shots that she can control.
An opportunity for the Bulldogs is broken up. That one was taken in by Jamie Triplett, number 13. The Bulldogs still trying to get a shot off before the period is over. The puck comes back down. They try to go high with it. Now down low, Arnold makes a great save. It comes back off of her pads. Now coming back around the other way. Here's Pochran with it. We'll give it back over to Eva Beck. The puck comes right inside the crease. Didn't touch Arnold at all. Pockrant again will let it fly. That one wide right. Now down low again. The Bulldogs applying as much pressure as they can. The puck comes free, though. 20 seconds left to go. They're going to blow the whistle on that one, Colton.
Not much time left in this first period for the Huskers. Just need to stay strong, not allow Minnesota Duluth to get that one extra insurance goal before the end of the first. 3-goal lead feels a lot smaller than a 4-goal lead, even if it's just a 1-goal difference. So it's going to be a huge end of period sequence for the Huskers.
Immediately after the face-off, Triplett gets a shot off. Or rather, Petrie does. And we'll get another face-off in the same spot. Now you got to be strategic with things. There's only 15 seconds left. This is one-shot area as far as time goes. Nebraska with a great poke check. They get it away. Time winding down. A potential shot here from Palmer. High and to the left. So we will end the first period 3-0. Colton, what were some things that stuck out to you there?
I mean, obviously, Minnesota Duluth getting off to a great start to that opening period. The Huskers got more in tune with the game as that period went along, but we saw that early momentum for the Bulldogs give them that lead. And for the second period coming up, the Huskers gonna need to refocus, get themselves more in that play style that they showed off those final 10 minutes, and just getting more in check in this game, not allowing Minnesota Duluth to get those easy opportunities like they did early in the first. That's going to be a huge thing for Nebraska going forward. 3-0 game, still not over by any means, but going to need to get some goals on the board in the second period if you want to feel confident.
Well, folks, we've got the second period coming up in about 15 minutes. Don't go anywhere. Come back to see if the Huskers can come back down from a 3-0 deficit against the University of Minnesota Duluth Bulldogs. All right, folks, welcome back on in to the John Breslow Hockey Center. Right now, the University of Minnesota Duluth Bulldogs are up 3-0, and our rinkside reporter, Francis Howe, is going to update us with this matchup.
Thank you, guys. Coming into this second period, Minnesota Duluth, they need to keep that momentum. They need to keep those shots up. But looking on the other side, Nebraska, they need to protect the net. They need to protect their senior and their goalie, Bailey Arnold, with getting those shots. But defensively, they really need to step up. Offensively, they need to continue to get those shots and have those quick movements on and off the puck. But overall, this Nebraska team really needs to find the back of the net during this period to shift the momentum to their side. Back to you guys.
All right, Colton, final buzzer just rang. We've got our second period here between the Bulldogs and the Huskers. Francis talking a lot about momentum shifts coming into this second period. What do the Huskers have to do to come back, get one past goaltender Lucy Whitehead, and what do the Bulldogs have to do to keep a substantial lead?
Well, for the Huskers, just getting more opportunities offensively, doing better at pushing the puck down the ice. If you get a lot of shots on net, some of them are going to go in at some point. That's kind of the logic there. But, I mean, Whitehead has played really well over the course of this game thus far. She's played well all year, so the Huskers are going to need to get some good shots on net. Meanwhile, for the Bulldogs, it's just keep doing what they've been doing in terms of getting the puck down the ice and holding strong defensively, getting the puck with Burke.
As well for the Bulldogs. Nobody for the Huskers has been too aggressive so far on offense. However, they win the opening face-off, and for a second there, we're looking like they were going to have an opportunity. And Colton, looks like to me the Huskers are fighting to get the puck into the offensive zone like they are right now. But as you can see, they're struggling to get shot opportunities.
Yeah, this Bulldog defensive unit has played great all evening. They're going to look to continue that here in the second, doing a good job of that over the course of this first minute or so.
The Bulldogs as well. Now you might look at the score and say their offense is playing great, but you got to give credit to Lucy Whitehead. This is her 12th game played, her 11th start. She's got just over a 91% save percentage. She's won 3 of those games she has started in the past. Nebraska, on the other hand, in net, she was honored and talked about in length. Bailey Arnold, the 4th year, the only senior on the squad. They've got a couple of 5th years, but tonight they honored her, recognized her. She's going to try and lock down the crease as best she can here, as the Bulldogs are keeping the puck in this zone for quite a while, and Nebraska now going to get it away. Corinne McCord, McKenna Mueller. Nebraska bench, they want a penalty, not going to get one there. Looking for any call they can get. They're going to need some help here, that's for sure, in the second period, Colton. We didn't see too many penalties, in the first, though.
Yeah, it was just one penalty on Izzy Palmer of the Huskers, and the Bulldogs cannot take advantage of the power play, so penalties have not been a huge part of this game thus far.
Nebraska now trying to get a shot off. That one just deflected in Whitehead's direction. We'll get another stoppage in play, looking very similar to how the start of the first period went, where there were a couple stops early on, and then the Bulldogs kept the puck in play for quite a while.
Yeah, we'll see what the Huskers do here in the second period to try and prevent that from happening again. This Bulldogs team, they can get some goals on the scoreboard in a hurry. We saw that in the first, and they're going to be looking to do that yet again in the second and build upon this lead.
Now, Minnesota Duluth, you just got to be on your toes when number 8 and number 9 are out there, first and second in points. Bonin Contro has the puck right now on the near side, chooses not to shoot it, rather a pass. That one deflected way up into the net So we'll get another stop and a face-off coming up soon. But it's this connection between number 8, Annika Burke, and number 9, Brianna Bonancantro. They've been on fire so far, looking to pick up a few more plays as well here early on in the second.
Yeah, that play right there was Bonancantro finding Burke near the net, and Burke just hit it a bit too hard right into the pad of Bailey Arnold. Good save right there from Arnold, but they're going to continue looking for that connection throughout the second.
Puck comes free right in front of the crease. Bonancantro had an opportunity. She'll reset things here. And the puck going to go deep down the other way. We're going to call it safe, though. So we'll stay down here. Nebraska now, a whiffed pass leads to a poke check. They keep it down. That one's swatted back down to the ice by Emma Perks. Now the Bulldogs getting to work here. Addie Rusing tried to keep it in front of her, but now Burke will get it past the blue line, and they'll set up shop again. Some miscommunication there. The puck goes behind on the pass. Nebraska gets a hold of it, but that back defensive line for the Bulldogs, again, taking advantage of whenever the puck goes off and to some open ice, they're usually the first ones to be there. Nebraska now, the puck behind their own net. A bit of a stop. They haven't had a whistle blown in quite some time. Perhaps that's what Nebraska needs, to just keep playing, and maybe the right shot opportunity will make itself known. Keeping it down here is Nebraska. Again, still struggling to get the puck off of the boards and get it to the middle of the ice. We've seen their best shots have come when they're able to do that. Working their best right now. That's Corinne McCord. Palmer behind the net. The Bulldogs swat it away. Puck stays in front of the blue. McCord will come off the ice. A couple personnel changes. Nothing too big here, though. Nebraska a lot better with their spacing here, though. That possession broken up. Here's a breakaway. Sophia Botcher trying to go from outside to in, not able to do so. Some great defense there by Antonia Stevens. And the puck coming back to where we just were moments ago. Just hit the 15-minute mark, Colton, and I'd say Nebraska has looked a lot better than they did in the first.
Yeah, it's been really solid defensively for the Huskers in this second period. That play by Antonia Stevens, for example, a really solid play defensively, not allowing Botcher to get a good opportunity at the net. We need to hold strong here yet again.
Alyssa Radecki, that puck hits Arnold's chest. She's not able to hold on to it. It comes free, and the Bulldogs will keep this possession alive. Behind the net, not going to wrap around on this one, just going to find the open space, cutting back inside. Puck's all over the place, but eventually the Huskers get it. Radel off to her right is McKenna Mueller. Mueller trying to hold on to it with her stick, not able to. The Bulldogs now going to try and clear it yet again. That one stopped. And the Huskers looking a lot more aggressive. Let's see if that pays off here. Mueller rips off a shot, deflected away though, goes wide right. We've got another stoppage in play.
Yeah, good cover up by Whitehead right there. Long period of time without a stoppage, but this Husker defense faring a lot better than they did early in the first, here early in the second. It's just the offense hasn't been able to get one in the net yet on Whitehead.
Radel will take the face off for the Huskers. Successful job as well. They get a quick shot off. Haven't seen that from Nebraska so far. Hitting the back of the shoulder. Puck still free though. Radel stops in her tracks. Natalie Dufair. Now the Huskers again. Everyone more so off in that corner. Radel trying to go cross ice and hit Palmer. Instead, she finds a Bulldog. There's Corinne McCord looking for any open ice. And Colton, if you want to start this comeback here, Corinne McCord definitely has to be a part of it. Perhaps she'll get a shot off right there. No, puck does not make it to her. And instead we'll get a breakaway on the other end. Great shot put off, but an even better stop by Arnold. Arnold puts herself up there. Looks like that possession will be over. Puck comes past the blue line. A great job there, though. That breakaway almost came out of nowhere, Colton.
Yeah, it really just sprung up out of nowhere. Burke coming off the bench on the personnel change, and now a penalty. But looking back at that, that was a great save by Arnold. Just able to stop the breakaway, and now the Huskers maybe getting a momentum shift in their favor as it goes from a sure goal opportunity for the Bulldogs to a Husker power play.
Yeah, Colton, another opportunity here. We'll have some 5-on-4 hockey. Bulldogs don't like it shaking their heads on the bench. They're just going to have to regroup, though. This is a great time right now for Nebraska to try and put at least one on the board in roughly the next 2 minutes. They're looking to get into position for this power play. The Bulldogs stopping them, though. So far doing a great job to kill off this penalty. Yet another stoppage. Colton, this isn't looking so much like a power play, though. The Huskers really haven't gotten into the position they want to get into yet.
Yeah, this Bulldogs defense has been great all day. We're seeing it yet again here on the power play. The Huskers aren't getting in position at all. Just some incredible play from this defensive unit as they're not allowing Nebraska to get any real opportunities thus far.
We haven't seen them get a shot off yet in this power play. Right now would be a great time. Stevens to Stevens, and then back near the blue line. Mueller down low. They're going to keep going around looking for the opening they want. Shelby Stevens gets a shot off. The puck immediately thrown back down towards Arnold. And the Bulldogs have done an incredible job killing off this penalty. There's now 40 seconds left on it, and I would say Nebraska has gotten off one, maybe two shots.
Not a lot of opportunities offensively. Maybe a chance right here, though.
Meredith Radel had the puck for a moment. Now McKenna Mueller comes in to help her. Corinne McCord behind her, looking to get into the right spot. She does. Shelby Stevens just took that shot a couple moments ago. That one got airborne, but did not get near the crease. Sparrow shipper bottom. Eventually, that was a great shot, but Whitehead was in the way of it. Almost a glove save. Instead, she lets it go, and it looks like that will be it for that penalty. In the final seconds of that 2-minute penalty, the Bulldogs somehow rip off a shot. Arnold came out of the crease. It's now 4-0, Minnesota Duluth with the lead.
I don't know how Burke was able to make that play. Had a bunch of defenders surrounding her as she was coming to the net. It looked like almost a backhanded shot as she was falling down, and it just sneaks past Arnold. That is an incredible play from Burke right there. Her 11th goal of the year, second of the day. And that is a huge goal insurance-wise for this Bulldog team.
Look at that. It took them roughly 2.5 minutes into the first period to score for the first time, and then this one just before the 10-minute mark. So Nebraska's defense was holding up for a while. However, that was just a unique play of sorts. There were two Husker defenders back on the deep end, and somehow Burke was able to slip by. She went flying into the boards behind the net as well right after she got the goal. The puck was already back in the net, so great job there. 4-0 right now. We hit the 10-minute mark, and Nebraska now very much in need of some offensive aggression. Palmer keeps it in front of the blue line. And Colton, it looks as though Nebraska has been sticking with sort of the same front line here, but Palmer has been coming in on the back end as well. See her wearing the C on her jersey. What are some defensive players for the Huskers that might need to step up right now?
Yeah, I mean, we see Rager and Shipperbottom out there. This entire defensive unit for the Huskers is, for the most part, not allowed a lot of opportunities, but the opportunities they have allowed are some good ones for the Bulldogs. And, of course, that goal from Burke was a really impressive play on her part. I think overall, this entire team needs to kind of step up if they want to have any chance of a comeback here. 4-goal lead, already building a lot of pressure on them.
That one a scary sight as the Bulldog came in there at the last second. Number 13, Jamie Triplett. She got a shot off, but looks as though Arnold was able to make a good save with the glove. We've got a face-off coming up in a couple moments. Just under 9 minutes to go in the second. Nebraska might be switching something up here, but it looks as though it's been their usual first line of the night, so we'll wait and see if they make any personnel changes. For right now, they'll stick with what they've been going with so far, though. Puck goes to the other side of the ice following the face-off, and then it makes its way in front of the crease. No shot got off there, though. Corinne McCord takes a big hit. We've got a delayed penalty coming up, and now the puck makes its way off to the other end. Colton, I didn't exactly see what happened there, just saw the last couple seconds of it, but she fell to the ice pretty hard.
Yeah, McCord took a big hit right there. Couldn't tell what the penalty was for, but Burke heading to the box, and the Huskers getting another power play. They didn't have a lot of opportunities on that opening power play, but maybe the second time around they come out with a little bit of a different look.
Looks as though she got clotheslined a bit on the far side board near her opponent's bench, and now we'll take a break. So the Bulldogs' aggression comes with a price. They're playing very aggressive on both sides of the ice. However, they have gone to the box a handful more times than the Huskers have. About a minute 50 left to go in this power play. Nebraska looking to get into the offensive end, get in their spots and find the right opening to rip off a shot, perhaps get on the board for the first time tonight. Meredith Radel will try to get things started here. She's got Stevens and Palmer to her right. She opts to take it herself. A backhand shot does not make its way inside, though. The puck comes back to the neutral zone. Stevens, both of them now on the near side. The Bulldogs, though, applying pressure, playing very far up front, even though they're down a skater. A minute left on this power play, 7.5 to go in the period. And Nebraska struggling so far with these power plays. However, there's still time left on this one to make something of it. Here comes Stevens, working outside to in. Palmer to her right. They get caught up. She'll put it in the middle of the ice, right in front of the crease. Two players take a hard hit behind the net. It looks like Palmer got the most of it, though. A shot taken, though. We'll come away from that possession. We'll send it down to our ringside analyst, Francis Howe. She'll keep us updated on this matchup so far.
Thank you, guys. With Nebraska on that power play, they need to look to shift that momentum, but then you have a goalie change, and getting more reps on that new goalie is going to be key for Nebraska. Back to you guys.
So Francis hitting the mark there about these power plays so far. 32 seconds left on this one. Nebraska still has a chance to get a couple more shots off. Mueller will find Rager right behind her. Back to Mueller. Near the face-off area. Shipper bottom. That one way too high. Gonna hit the glass behind it as well. Wrapping around behind the net. Shipper bottom will let it go to McKenna Mueller. Mueller goes for the pass, not the shot. The puck right behind the net now. Shipper bottom again. They'll just pass it. No shots here for the Huskers. They're looking for the perfect opportunity. The Bulldogs back to full strength. Burke back onto the ice. That one slips in. The shot came almost horizontally. And Nebraska, as soon as that power play was over, they were able to get their first goal of the night.
And it was their captain, Izzy Palmer, who got the puck near the net off the initial shot, right in front of the net, able to get that puck in the net. Really great shot right there from Palmer, and she gets the Huskers a huge goal right there to get them on the scoreboard. That generates a little bit of confidence that you can get something going against this Bulldog defense. They get that goal across. Here's still with some time in the second period. Now it's just a 3-goal game.
Back to a 3-goal deficit for the Huskers. Although it's got to feel good to get at least one on the board. They'll have to do that a couple more times, though, to tie it up. Following that goal in the face-off, they immediately look a whole lot more juiced up. Got a lot more to play for now. Some big hits behind the net. And we'll have a delayed penalty coming away from it. And Colton, I think a good tagline so far for this game is aggression comes with a price.
Yeah, that's aggression coming with a price right there for the Huskers. It was McCord getting tangled up with a Bulldog defender towards the net, and then Radel coming in. They're going to get her for a cross check, and now for the next 2 minutes, the Bulldogs will be on the power play, taking us to under 4 minutes in the second. They weren't able to convert on their power play in the first. Maybe looking to throw something different at the Huskers here in the second. A goal right here would alter the momentum of this game a lot.
The Bulldogs have 2 minutes to try to make it a 4-score game again. They looked pretty good without needing the skater advantage, but let's see how they do with it. The Huskers so far going to stick with McCord, Mueller, Shelby Stevens, as well as Lexi Rager back there for their faster skaters who will try and kill off this penalty. We're roughly 30 seconds into it, and the Bulldogs just now getting set up. They keep it in front of the blue line there. Elena Benson, she scored earlier in the first. Now back on this power play formation, trying to make something of it. Bonin Contro, not going to go to her. Instead, they'll look for Alyssa Radecki, who rips off a shot.
And Radecki firing from outside, a bit of a slap shot right there, but Arnold does a good job reacting to it, getting the save right there. I mean, 4 goals in the net, but Arnold has not played poorly. Just been a bit of unfortunate breaks on some of these goals, but a good save right there from her.
The Bulldogs now have a chance to take a breather, slow things down. They've got a minute left here to figure things out. And they obviously, Colton, as you were talking about it, in terms of insurance, they don't really have too much to worry about here. It's not a necessity that they score with this player advantage. However, it would be nice to get it back to a 4-goal game.
I mean, yeah, 4-goal game. As we mentioned earlier, it feels a lot bigger than a 3-goal game, even if in the grand scheme of things it's only a 1-goal difference. The Huskers being able to cut it down to 3 had to be huge for morale, but a goal right here on the power play could swing it right back in the Bulldogs' favor.
Right, and you can tell when the Huskers were down by 4, they weren't playing as aggressive as they could have on offense, and then as soon as they got that goal in by Izzy Palmer, they juiced up a little bit more, but then obviously this penalty immediately followed up after that. So now they've got some work to do to get it back to full strength. 13 seconds left. The Bulldogs, they've had a few looks so far in this 2-minute period, but really nothing that great. Eventually poke checked away McKenna Mueller, and that could put an end. It does. The Huskers back to full strength, and they've got the puck in the offensive zone. Radel comes back out of the box, and the puck will wrap around. It's way off into what was kind of a skate battle there. Eventually comes loose, though, on the other end of the ice. Nebraska working to slow things down best they can. However, when they did score the 1 goal they picked up, it almost came out of a chaos sort of just play where they just tried to rip off as many shots as possible. The Bulldogs, however, they've looked very good when number 8 and number 9 are out there together. We're seeing that coming up in a few short moments. They've got it right now. On the other hand, Nebraska working behind the net The puck now in the corner. Bulldogs come away. We've got a delayed penalty coming up. That one on Izzy Palmer, it looks like. No, Addie Rusing, excuse me. She leads the team in penalty minutes with 48. She will now reach that 50 mark so far. 4-1 for the Bulldogs, and that's not what you want if you're a Husker, Colton.
Yeah, Rusing heading to the box. That's the first time she's had to head there thus far, but it'll be a mutual penalty is heading to the box for the Bulldogs as well as Elena Benson. So it looks like we're going to get a 4-on-4 for a couple minutes.
Yeah, you see the referees here holding up fours to both benches. And if you're looking for shot opportunities, obviously it would be nice to play 5-on-4, but I think you'd almost rather take 4-on-4 as well if you're Nebraska here.
Yeah, we're going to see a much faster-paced game over these next 2 minutes on the 4-on-4. A lot more open ice for these two teams, so there's going to be more opportunities, a lot harder to defend with 4 on the ice, regardless of how many the other team has on. So it will be a big opportunity for Nebraska if they want to cut into this lead.
We've got Motorhead blasting while the puck is still live. Perhaps that'll give the Bulldogs the extra edge they need here. For some 4-on-4 action, they're going to get things started 15 seconds into it. That opportunity broken up by the Husker D-line there. On the back end of things, the Huskers still trying to get it out of their zone. Burke loses it. Stevens has it going the other way for Nebraska. Goes from inside to out. Almost loses her footing. Stays up, though, in the corner. She gets a hold of the puck as well. Her sister rips off a shot. That one, though, a great save made by Whitehead.
Yeah, that was a great feed into Shelby Stevens, and not a bad shot either, but Whitehead just does a great job getting that glove around, being able to knock it down and eventually cover it up. Really good play out in net from Whitehead. Feels like we've been saying that a lot. She's been great all year for this Bulldog team, and she's been great thus far today as well.
Puck stays down low after the face-off. Slowly making its way out of the zone. It eventually does. We've got a one-on-one situation broken up there by Shipperbottom. Bulldogs are going to have to rethink things. They'll dump the puck. No changes on the bench, though. We'll stay with the same 4 skaters for each. Just past a minute. We've got 50 seconds left to go in this power play, if you would, or rather 4-on-4 time. A minute 50 altogether in the period, so both teams will get back to full strength before the period is over. Neither team is really beating each other out for looking more impressive during this time with 4-on-4, Colton, but overall, both teams have gotten some shot opportunities.
Yeah, both teams being able to get some opportunities offensively, that's naturally going to come with a 4-on-4. We'll see if either of them can take advantage of it as time running very thin on this 4-on-4 chance.
Camille Dunlip back on over to the blue line. That one a big shot taken from far away. Could be an opportunity lying here. Corinne McCord gets beat to the puck, but McKenna Mueller is there to back her up. Goes glove side. That shot ricocheted away. It will stay behind the net now. Both teams back to full strength. The penalty minute leader for Nebraska, Addie Rusing, enforcer for the team, gets back out there. And now Bonincontro might have something cooking up here. She does, and it will not get past Arnold. A couple Huskers there pat her on the back, say thank you for that one.
Yeah, that was a great save from Arnold right there. Not easy on that shot from Bonincontro. Firing across to the glove side, but Arnold able to just get that glove around, make a difficult save on a puck that's coming in there pretty hard. Really nice play out there in net from the senior.
Face off immediately following that. Burke gets tangled up a bit. Somehow finds the puck. No shot taken off there, though. Take a break in the action as well. Now back behind the net. Neither team slowing down, especially because they're back to full strength. And Arnold picking up a string of saves here, Colton.
Yeah, Arnold playing really well towards the end of the second period. She's played well all period, but stepping up really big here as this defense has allowed a bit more opportunities. They're going to need to hold here, time running out here in the second.
We're in that area where they might get one shot off left in the period. The Bulldogs do, and it gets past Arnold. So the senior goaltender for Nebraska made 2 great saves, but the third one did not convert. The Bulldogs pick back up that 4-goal lead they had earlier on in this period.
Yeah, and the slap shot has been so effective for this Bulldog team thus far. That's their 3rd goal on one of those back near the blue line. 2nd of them from Elena Benson. She just fires and comes in too fast for Arnold to have a chance at it. This Bulldogs team getting a 4-goal lead. That's a huge goal before the end of this period.
That is her 6th goal on the season. For reference, heading into tonight's game, the goal leader for Minnesota Duluth was Annika Burke, who had 9. We'll take a break here, folks. The Bulldogs are up 5-1, though. Nebraska looking to make some big waves in the third, potentially get a comeback going, and Minnesota Duluth looking to close things out. folks, welcome back on in to the John Breslow Hockey Center, where the Minnesota Duluth Bulldogs are up 5-1 over the Nebraska Huskers. Right now we've got the third period coming up in just a couple moments, but Francis Howe has a couple things to say before we get started.
The state of hockey is here, and they are here tonight, and they have shown us. All of these girls on Minnesota Duluth are from Minnesota. They are such a close-knit group. Many of them played together in high school, but you can tell how that connection from growing up in the same state, growing up in the state of hockey, and growing and playing high school hockey together has impacted them on the ice. They're such a close-knit community, and the connection with the puck movements they have is undeniably here in the arena with us tonight. Back to you guys.
Well, Colton, it was a good second period at first. I'd say those first 10 minutes of the period went pretty well for Nebraska. In the first period, it only took the Bulldogs about 2.5 minutes to get a goal on the board, and then in the second, it took them quite some more time, roughly 9.5, until they picked up their first score of that period. Izzy Palmer was the one that got the score, but now, with only 20 minutes left to play, what do the Huskers have to do to get back in the conversation of winning this game?
Well, for starters, it's going to be a lot of work for them, but, I mean, offensively, you need to be aggressive with the puck, more aggressive than you've been throughout this game. What they showed towards the end of that second period offensively, they're going to need to emulate that throughout the third if they want any chance of coming back in this one. Can't afford to play timid offensively, and just getting those consistent chances is going to be huge for them.
I'd say consistency is key here. They played very consistent for the first 10 minutes of the second period, and then some penalties and such got in the way. Talking about getting in the way, it was, I believe, Olive Riley now in net here for the Bulldogs. Gets back there, gets in front of the puck. Nebraska still applying some pressure here, though. 19 minutes left. Just getting the third period started, and the Huskers already look a lot more aggressive than they have all game.
Yeah, good to have that aggression early on in this third period. They're going to need to keep it up over all 20 minutes if they want any chance of making a comeback. 4-goal lead with 20 minutes to go is not easy to make up.
Fighting with it on their skates behind the net. Looks to be Stevens. Comes away with it. Bulldogs getting in there as well. Very slow. You look at number 14, Brooke Pockrant, just standing at the blue line, awaiting for something to happen. She'll now have to fall back on defense as Stevens comes in from the outside, trying to cut it back in, and it makes its way past Riley. Number 12, Antonia Stevens, making waves early on in the third. We're back to a 3-goal game.
Yeah, Stevens just bringing the puck down the ice, gets towards the net, a little backhand shot, and when you get an opportunity that close, they'll start to go in at some point, and in that case, it just sneaks through the pads of the freshman goaltender, Olive Riley. He checked into the game for Lucy Whitehead at the intermission, and the Huskers back down to a 3-goal deficit. A huge momentum shift for Nebraska to get that goal, cut this lead down early in the period instead of having to wait for a little bit to get it.
This is a perfect start so far for the Huskers. They scored within the first 2 minutes, really minute and a half, if we're being honest here. And now they've got to be careful with penalties and other such. Don't want to get too aggressive, but it looks like Addie Rusin is getting to bruising here, Colton. She's looked a little angry there at the blue line, so she'll head to the box. She came into this game with 48 penalty minutes on the season. This will now be her 51st and 52nd in the box.
Yeah, that hit right there on Alexandra Prague was out of the play. Officials ruling that interference. And as a result, this Bulldog team is going to get a chance to add back onto this lead right away.
Rusing just very much the enforcer of this team, and her penalty will lead to this game going back to a 4-goal separation between the two of them. Rusing will make her way back to the bench. The score now 6-2 after that goal picked up by number 9, Brianna Bonincontro for Minnesota Duluth.
just 8 seconds into the power play for the Bulldogs. Bonacontro just cutting up the middle, gets a shot on goal, and it goes in. Burke and Benson have each scored 2 goals apiece for the Bulldogs, and that's how they have built these 6 goals thus far today.
Bulldogs and Huskers go hand in hand. There's a great shot ripped off there, but now things are getting a little more exciting than they have been so far in the first and second periods. 2 very early goals, but the separation between these 2 teams stays the same as the deficit that we had to start the period just a couple minutes ago. That just means Nebraska going to work. They're going to have to work just as hard as they did to get that first goal. They're going to have to do it again now here. Let's see. They might try to get Stevens involved. Both of them are on the bench right now. We're going with the second line here. Addie Rusing staying out there for quite a while, more than she usually does. The Bulldogs continue to apply pressure. Nebraska coming away with it. Here's Corinne McCord. Nothing between her and Riley. She gets a shot off. A pad deflection will keep it in the corner. Rusing fighting for it, and the puck comes free. Bonacontro coming in. On the far side board there, she'll go backhand with it to get it deeper into the offensive zone. Arnold awaiting anything to happen here. That puck low and goes in between Arnold's legs. A 5-holer for the Bulldogs will make it 7-2. That one got away from number 18, Annalise Walker, the sophomore forward for Minnesota Duluth.
Yeah, that's Walker's first goal of the year. She gets it right before the end of the season, second to last game. It was the shot from Dunlip coming in, and Walker just able to get a piece of it. It sneaks past Arnold and net, and that is another huge insurance goal for this Bulldog team.
So in the past roughly 4 or so minutes of play, the Bulldogs have been up by 4, then up by 3, back to up by 4, and now they pile it on even more. This is the largest goal they've had all game, and they're not stopping here, keeping it the same with this very aggressive first line they've had all game. See the likes, there's 3 players that each have 2 goals, and then Colton, like you mentioned, Walker picks up her first of the year. So overall, very looking at it holistically, the Bulldogs playing very aggressive right now. Nebraska trying to chip off some of what Minnesota Duluth has been doing so far on the offensive end. McKenna Mueller gets a shot off right in front of the crease. That's a nice stop by Riley, though. A backhand, that one just going to be covered up right outside of the crease, and we've got another stoppage in play.
Yeah, dangerous play for Riley towards the net. Palmer was near the net. Chance for a deflection right through, but she's able to get around on it quickly. Similar play to that goal from Stevens earlier, but this time Riley able to make the stop.
That face-off comes away, immediately goes to the corner. It's going to stay in that same area. Rager tries to get in, or stick in on it. Bonacontro comes away with it. Here's Burke. Going every which way with it with the puck, but Arnold makes 2 great saves here. And now her defenseman will try and have to get it out of the zone, but it's going to stay here. Her work not done quite yet. Those 2 quick ones gives them their 31st shot on goal so far this game. And they're not going to stop here. 15 minutes to go. They're going to keep piling it on. That's another stop by the Bulldogs. Luckily for the Huskers, they've got a few skaters in the way of it to stop that opportunity. Here's Corinne McCord going inside to out. Gets that one airborne. It does not slip past Riley. However, the Huskers hold on to it. Stevens down low. The puck now nearing the crease. Riley does a great job laying out on it. And overall, a great defensive effort there by the Bulldogs.
Yeah, the Huskers had a prime opportunity right there. McCord just firing it in front of the net. Huskers not able to connect on it. And then right there, Riley extending for the save. Some solid defense ever since they've allowed that second Husker goal for the Bulldogs.
Still 7-2 here. We haven't had some action in a few minutes. Started off this period with 3 goals, a couple penalties, but all that is now evened out a little bit. And we're looking to see who will kind of strike for the first time since we had that action-packed first couple minutes of this period. Corinne McCord had the puck for a moment, but now the Bulldogs just going to reset behind their own net. Jamie Triplett has it. Puck comes loose. The Bulldogs still holding on to it here. Number 5, Camille Dunlop, gets a shot off. It's wide right. There's 3 Husker defenders in the area to stop that one. Another shot gets off. The puck's still live. Wasn't covered up there by Arnold. Did not get to her in time. The Huskers keep this one alive. The Bulldogs, another shot there, goes over the net entirely. On the far side, McCord trying to win the race down here. Puck comes free. Both players hit the ice hard. No whistle blown, though. They're going to let them play this one out. The puck goes high again. And now the Bulldogs, for a moment it looked like they were going to get it past the blue line. They do not. Eventually, though, a bad pass gets in the hands here of number 15, Benson. 2 goals already. Looking for a third. That one not going to go. Arnold doesn't cover that one up. Looks like she didn't know where the puck fell after she made that pad save. And the Bulldogs still ripping off shots. They got their 30th on goal just a couple minutes ago. Total now at 33. The Huskers, on the other hand, not winning the shot battle, but they're able to get one off there. A glove save made by Riley. The Huskers hit their 20th shot on goal. And as I mentioned, the Bulldogs at 33. There seems to be a difference there, Colton. What would you say is the biggest factor in the fact that the Bulldogs have 13 more shots on goal than the Huskers?
Well, it's been the defense for the Bulldogs for sure. They haven't allowed the Huskers to get a whole lot of opportunities towards the net. Nebraska's got a few more as this game's gone along, but especially early on, this Bulldogs team wasn't allowing them any chances towards the net. That was a big reason why this game was scoreless for the Huskers for so long, and it's why this Bulldog team has been able to hold them to just 2 while they're performing as well as they have offensively.
And Colton, it looks like Corinne McCord, number 8, leads the team in points, goals, and assists. She's the most generative player on offense for them. She seems to be doing a decent job of getting the puck in the other end, but it looks like she could use some help. What's one player from this Nebraska team that might need to step up a little bit and get McCord in the right spot to get her some more shot opportunities?
Well, I mean, we could see both Meredith Radel and Addie Rusing step up a little bit more for the Huskers going down the stretch of this game. Both of them 5 goals on the season. Izzy Palmer also has a goal today. We could see them provide additional impacts for this Husker team, but not much time to do it as this Bulldog team looks to be in control of the game. If the Huskers want to rally, they're going to need to start getting things going pretty quickly.
And it looks like they started a rally at the beginning of this period with that goal that cut it back down to a 3-goal game. I mean, you got, 18 and a half minutes left of hockey, in this game. It's only a 3-goal deficit. I think you could absolutely come back from that. But now you look at the clock, 11 minutes, 8 seconds to go, and you're down by 5. So that's a bit of a tougher challenge.
Yeah, this is a Bulldog team that can put goals on the scoreboard in a hurry. We saw that in the first period, and we saw it again over the past couple minutes. 2 very quick goals to take this from a 3-goal game all the way up to a 5-goal game. And it feels like they've taken control here in this third.
See here now after that face-off, just past the 11-minute mark. The Bulldogs still doing what they do best. It's getting these open shots right in front of the crease. That one does not connect with Arnold, though, which means Nebraska has it going the other way. Puck free in the neutral zone. Rusing tries to get a hold of it with her stick. One Husker falls to the ground pretty hard. Puck now hanging around out in the corner. Number 24, Alexandra Prague for the Bulldogs, getting to work. See her right in front of the crease there. picking up some more minutes as we near the halfway mark of the third period. Bragg again gets a hold of it, tries to dump it. The Huskers put a stop to that. McCord goes flying, took down Shipperbottom with her. They both get back to their feet, look to be all right. The Bulldogs have an opening, though. Two of them falling. Coming back on the inside, that shot too high. There's an opening in front of the crease. The Huskers do a nice job to shake that up and get the puck out of there. Sophia Botcher getting to work. Bragg in there as well on the far side. Right in front of the crease. Arnold sees it late. Gets her glove on top of it, though. They're fighting a little bit. Bonancantro gets shoved into the crossbar. Fight broken up a little bit, but Colton tempers are flaring, and you can't blame them. It's a tough situation to be in when you're down by 4 and down by 3, and now you look at the scoreboard, you're down 7-2 with 9.5 left to go.
Yeah, that was an odd situation right there. I couldn't tell what set Shipperbottom off, but she decked Annika Burke from behind right there. Knocked her right into the goal. Don't know what the context for that was, but either way, it's a penalty for the Huskers. And now that gives this Bulldog team a chance to add on to this lead even more. Temper's just getting a little bit too high there for the Huskers.
Shipperbottom must have saw something down there from her angle. Most likely was the fact that Arnold did get tapped a little bit at the end of that play with the puck being in the crease so much. This will be Shipperbottom's. She's got a total of 12 penalty minutes now after picking up this one halfway through the third. This Husker defense going to have to step up. A 5-goal deficit could move to 6 here, though, if the Bulldogs get one more past Arnold. Triplett. Going to let it go. Arnold going to save it, though. Another stoppage. Roughly 45 seconds into the power play.
If there's one thing this Husker team has done a really good job of today, it's killing penalties. They haven't allowed this Bulldog team to take advantage of their power plays or 4-on-4s thus far. Their defense holding strong early on in this penalty kill as well.
Riley going to keep this one in play, avoiding an icing call, or rather anything else there. Trying to wind the clock down just a little bit here is the Huskers, though. McKenna Mueller out in front. This is Pockrant looking for an opening. She'll opt back to Dunlap. She'll let it rip off. 3 bodies in front of the net, though. Makes it so that it does not get in front of Arnold. Now on the other side, the far side here, Petrie puts it in the corner. The Huskers trying to clear it. They do. 30 seconds left to go in this power play. The Bulldogs looking to get off 1, maybe 2 or more shots. Camille Dunlap moving in on the outside. That shot broken up right on the first line of defense. The second one taking a big sigh of relief as that puck got close. Greta Petrie will take a moment at mid-ice to slow things down as this penalty is killed. The power play is over. Shipperbottom back on the ice. Natalie Dufert wants it badly right in front of the crease. They're not able to get it to her in time. That pass intercepted by Mueller, and Nebraska doing their best to get it and progress it on the other side of the ice. But still, the Bulldogs doing an incredible job to just keep the puck, no matter what, in the offensive zone, Colton.
Yeah, the puck control for the Huskers has been huge thus far. And for the Bulldogs has been huge thus far. They've done a good job keeping control of it throughout this third period, not allowing the Huskers to mount any rallies offensively ever since that opening goal. That's been why they've been able to build this lead and continue to keep it where it is as this third period's gone along. Huskers haven't gotten a whole lot of chances offensively.
Back from that face-off now. 6.5 to go. The Bulldogs applying pressure. Colton, they've gotten 7 diamonds out of it. They've played very aggressively on offense here. With 6.5 to go, they are still playing aggressive when they have the puck with their sticks.
Yeah, I mean, at this point in the game, you might not just be trying to play keep away yet. Could just continue to be aggressive offensively, and that's what we've seen thus far in this one for the Minnesota Duluth Bulldogs, just continuing to push the puck down the ice, not allowing Nebraska to get anything going offensively. It's been a huge game thus far for them, and they have played exceptional.
Back from another face-off here. That's not Shipper Bottom. Alexa Tannehill, rather, getting in. She stands out with those green laces on her skates on the far side board now. She'll have to move in. A personnel change made on the back end for Nebraska. The Bulldogs have the puck, though, and they'll clear it. Flipping sides of the ice. We'll call it safe here, no icing. Keeping the puck in play. And for the Bulldogs, that's most likely exactly what they want right now. With a 5-goal lead, trying to kill as much time off the clock. Not expend themselves too much would be ideal. And the near side back to the far. Sophia Botcher gets a shot off. Another break here. And Colton so far nearing that 5-minute mark. Unfortunately for the Huskers, there was some hope at the start of this period, but now it's dwindling away as they had it within reach of 3 goals, back to 5. Not a whole lot has happened other than that Shipper Bottom penalty a few minutes ago.
This Bulldog team has done a good job at pulling away here in the third. Huskers still have a game tomorrow night to try and end off this season with a victory, but this game not going the way they wanted. They've still played really hard. They have put together a really cohesive effort, continuing to fight back after they fell behind early in the game, and this could be worse than it looks right now if it weren't for the effort that this Husker team has given throughout this game. And now they're going to get an extra opportunity with a power play as Benson's going to head to the box for the Bulldogs.
Perhaps a bright spot here for the Huskers, and what a day it's been for Elena Benson, number 15, the sophomore defenseman for the Bulldogs. She's got 2 goals, and we'll head to the box for a couple moments here, roughly half of the time we have left on the ice. Lexi Rager will get it to start off the power play. It's a good thing the face-off is down in this end. Nebraska, the last thing they want is to waste time to try and set up in the offensive zone. Being able to be right in that position immediately following a face-off is ideal. McKenna Mueller will dish it back off to Rager. No opening there. Back to Mueller. Puck now in the corner, and the Bulldogs still staying aggressive. Radel behind the net. Looking to get creative with it. That pass to Mueller. Poked away. Mueller back to Radel. Mueller. Backhand off to Rager at the blue line. Mueller almost loses it. Still fighting for it on the near side board. The Bulldogs now have it behind their own net. Nebraska's got to keep this in front of the blue line. They are not able to do so. They'll have to clear out of the area. And there's a minute left on this power play. Big hit there. Whistle blown. Looks like we'll have a player in each penalty box here, Colton.
That was a big hit on the boards right there from Shipper Bottom. It knocked down, it looked like Annalise Walker, and That will send Shipper Bottom to the box, and that makes it a 4-on-4 for the next 56 seconds, and then a power play for the next minute 4 for the Bulldogs. Is yet another penalty for Nebraska's frustration, maybe running high late in this one.
Back here, Nebraska has had some opportunities with these power plays. They'll now go back to 4-on-4. As far as the shot on goal battle goes, the Bulldogs still winning that. They've got 38. The Huskers have only been able to pick up 22, and they had a total of 20 a couple minutes ago. That power play didn't seem to help. Nearing 3 minutes to go. Shipper Bottom has roughly a minute and a half left in the box. Benson, only about 25 seconds, though. We'll resume to 5-on-4 hockey, and then both teams will be at full strength to close out the game. Bonancantro has it. No teammates to help her, so she'll rip off a shot on her lonesome. The Bulldogs able to get it even though the puck comes away and finds some open ice. McCord playing up for the Huskers. It'll be Stevens that gets it in the corner, though. We're back to 5-on-4. Shipper Bottom still in the box, though. She'll be there for roughly 1 more minute. Bonancantro, or excuse me, Burke rather. It was Burke that took the big hit moments earlier in this period. And Colton, I think something that's pretty interesting is when this game was even keel 0-0, what allowed the Bulldogs to jump out to that 3-0 lead was this dynamic of Bonancantro and Burke being on the ice at the same time. But it looks as though the lines they're running now, only one of them is out there at a given time.
Yeah, I think over the course of this third period especially, they've been prioritizing their defensive alignment, not allowing the Huskers to get chances offensively, and they're doing that instead of trying to get the most goals possible on offense. And that has worked out pretty well for them, as they've held the Huskers to just 2 goals over the course of this game, and they're going to be closing out the final few minutes of a victory right here.
Back down, both teams at full strength. 90 seconds to go. The Bulldogs have it in the neutral zone. Looks like they'll just try to run this one out. An interesting third period we had. We started with the Huskers down 4. An early goal put them within 3 goals, and now they've been at a 5-goal deficit for most of this 20-minute period. Still trying to make something happen here is Addie Rusing. 50 seconds left. One Bulldog falls on their own. They still pick up the puck, though. It's going to be a race to the puck as Arnold sitting in the crease, hoping nothing bad happens in the final 40 seconds. Running out the clock here a little bit. A backhand shot. Arnold takes a sigh of relief. The Bulldogs get off 2 very quick shots there. The final 20 seconds. They keep it in front of the blue line as well. A pass off the boards. Nebraska now has it. Looks as though there's time for 1 more shot, potentially, if they're able to get there. An icing call made with 2.5 seconds left to go. And Colton, that's been a pretty disheartening period. I know just mentioned how things sort of went where the Huskers were within 3 goals of tying it up. Now they've been down 5 for most of this period, but overall they've still got a chance to make sort of a comeback as they play tomorrow. Puck drop between these same 2 teams is at 2:30 p.m. on Husker Hockey. We'll stay here. Overall, pretty decent performance by both teams, but the Bulldogs went out on top, Colton.
Yeah, the Bulldogs played great, both offensively and defensively. It was their offense, Anika Burke and Brianna Bunancantro, who provided so much offensively, along with Elena Benson. All three of them had 2 goals apiece. Their defense playing extremely well to not allow the Huskers to get offense going. Bailey Arnold getting the start and getting the chance to play here on senior night. And this Bulldog team as well playing incredible throughout this game. Lucy Whitehead and Olive Riley both played great in net, and this Bulldog team overall just played really well all throughout this game. So, I mean, there's stuff you can take away for Nebraska, especially the way they played down the stretch of that game after this Bulldog team built that big lead that you can take into tomorrow and try and get a win in that final game of the season. But kind of a disheartening loss here tonight.
I think if you're the Huskers, you can't focus on the fact that, you know, the final score reads 7-2. You just got to focus on you got one last game tomorrow to end out the season. I think if you're the Bulldogs, though, continue to put out number 8, Burke, number 9, Bunancantro. 2 of them played fantastic today. We'll close things out here today with an interview down ringside. Frances Howe is going to share some words with a player from the Bulldogs. An incredible performance by her today. 3 Bulldogs had 2 goals each, and then Annalise Walker had a solo goal. So those were how they put up 7 on the board. As for the Huskers, Izzy Palmer got things going there in the second, and then early on in the third, there was a chance for them to make something happen. They put it in within 3. Said that a lot, but it was right there. At least it felt like it was, and then just went back down to 5 for the rest of the period. We'll send it down to Frances Howe here. She's sharing some words with one of the best players of this game.
Are you ready? Yes. Perfect. We are good whenever. Here, guys, we are with Annika Burke from Minnesota Duluth. Annika, congratulations on your win. But first, growing up in the state of hockey, playing in Minnesota, what does the hockey community mean to you?
It means a lot. I mean, state of hockey, you already know. We host Hockey Day Minnesota every year. I mean, we're just born and raised watching hockey, playing hockey. Like, it's just the motto in Minnesota, so we got to come out and impress, and we come to places like Nebraska.
It is truly the motto. But how did scoring the first goal in this game, how did that shift your team's momentum?
It shifted quite a bit. We've been struggling in the first period, and we tried to bounce back like second and third, but it never really worked. So we were happy to get it moving right away in the first, and that just kind of triggered for a good game for us.
And what are you taking into tomorrow's game against Nebraska?
We're just going to keep this game in the past. Like, we don't really care that we won. Like, we got to come ready to play the second game. Doesn't matter the score because we know they're going to come ready to play, so we got to do the same.
Well, thank you so much. Congratulations on your win, and good luck tomorrow.
Thank you very much.
Back up top here. Great interview there by Frances. Some great coverage here today. Hopefully you enjoyed watching. But overall, Colton, the sentiment the Huskers should hopefully take away from this is that you got one last game tomorrow. Today didn't go the way they wanted it to, but overall you got another chance to win over the Bulldogs here.
Yeah, you still got one more opportunity to end this season off strong. You can't take this last game too much into the equation. You just have to move on. You've only got one game left this season, so you might as well end on a high note. Mm-hmm. There are things that you can take into the game tomorrow, but tomorrow's a whole new game, so we'll see how the Huskers adjust to this Minnesota Duluth team heading into this final matchup of the season. Should be a fun game.
The Huskers fall to 3-14. The Minnesota Duluth Bulldogs improve to 7-10. They're continuing this sort of win streak. They're second. Now they won 5 days ago back at home, and this was their first road game in quite some time, so it feels good to go on the road and get another win. They've got another one tomorrow. Puck drop is at 2:30 back on this same channel. Folks, thank you for watching us here. We're signing off from the John Breslow Hockey Center. Hope you have a good night, Nebraska. Thank you.